What's up? Welcome back to my channel, or for the first time if you're new, I'm Sylvan, and today I'm going to be reacting to the Myriad Celestia trailer for Sunday After the Sunset. I've been really eager to get into this, and here we have it, so let's just get right into it. I won't delay any further. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoy the video, leave a comment on your thoughts, and let's get into it.
Oh, triple-faced soul,
starting with this.
Please sear his tongue and palms with a hot iron.
Oh,
so
it's
that
the
he will
slightly
not be
different
able to
tone.
Fabricate lies and false vows. I
Interesting.
ask you, what was your original dream?
Oh, that's a good question.
To let everyone hear our song and to sing together with the masses.
Huh.
I wished only for the pure land in my imagination, a place where people laugh and also slumber. But with even such a small wish, I still broke my promise. Shadows loom over it, and reality is in utter chaos. I'm unable to protect even those closest to me.
Yeah,
The paradise was never meant to look like this. Has your dream changed?
That's the question.
I don't know. But I see that people in the land of the dreams still live in another kind of prison.
Okay.
Self-judging, self-doubting, self-denying.
Yeah.
And then robbed, oppressed, exploited. Unknowingly, happiness has long left them. If I could create a future for them.
Oh, I in parentheses.
If I could be the light that shines upon the world.
Yeah, that's sort of the thought you were having before.
I ask you, has your dream come true?
I love this self-interrogation.
As you see, in this paradise I have built, the virtuous are comforted, the weak are protected, the sinful are judged.
Uh-huh.
Our dream has come true. Then do you know why everything is now so silent?
That's
because people are asleep, no longer laughing. No, it is because they no longer wish to slumber here.
Ooh, I love the way this is falling apart.
Sweet dream. Only I remain. When the last actor leaves the stage, the show must come to an end.
Breaking free of the bonds.
And now, the final question.
Changing to his new outfit.
Why does life slumber?
Coming back to that question as the music builds. Hell yeah.
Because someday, I too will wake up from my dream.
Interesting. And then he's falling.
And once again welcome the arrival of tomorrow.
Oh, welcoming tomorrow. Okay. Interesting. So really, this is, in its entirety, a form of self-introspection. Everything here, regardless of how literally you take this discussion between himself, is a form of him looking into himself and his actions and trying to answer the questions of why he did what he did, why he believes what he believes, and if he should continue to. As we open here, we open with the way that everything pretty much related to Sunday has, with the opening line, "Oh, triple-faced soul. Please sear his tongue and palms with a hot iron, so that he will not be able to fabricate lies and make false vows." But this time, it's directed towards himself. The distinction that I noticed during the version trailer that seems to be continuing here is that even if it's still both Sunday, there are two voices happening. This opening line has a slightly different tone than how Sunday usually talks. It isn't the same tonality and cadence as how he normally says this line, and is equally slightly different at a few other points. And it leads me to this thought that regardless of how real that facet is in actually conversing with him, or if this is all more metaphorical and internal, there is this separate facet of him that is speaking to him, questioning him, asking him what he intends to do and why he has done the things he has. And with this line and this power that is symbolized by the line and the weird wavy effects around the screen, with that being directed at Sunday himself, it innately is framing things in a way where everything that comes after this is forced to be the truth within Sunday, what he truly believes, which essentially enables us to go into this with the understanding that we are seeing directly into who Sunday is and what he believes. There is no deception or lies in this. He may have false beliefs or be confused, but he is not lying. But then, layering over that, we also have, as things fade out, Robin reaching out to him, saying, "The dream is over, brother. You can wake up now," tying into the end of this. And then he opens his eyes with this line from his sister, in his modern outfit, looking up at the curtains of the stage, as the other facet of him asks, "What was your original dream?" in quotations. So we start with what he originally wanted, what his goal from the beginning was. And we'll see throughout this how that dream changed. We move past the curtain, and we have his answer, to let everyone hear our song. And we see here young Sunday and Robin at a piano, speaking to a bit of what we saw in Robin's Myriad Celestia trailer, where when they were kids, the two of them wanted to bring their songs to the masses and let their songs be heard and be together in that. So we can see that through both of those, his original goal was a deeply personal and kind one. He began with similar ideals to Robin. And then I really like what they do here, as he says to let everyone hear our song, but then as he stays at the piano, Robin gets up and, passing behind the piano, comes out the other side, older in her more present-day adult form, having run off towards her own goals that are just an extension of her past goals, but regardless of the reason she went, it led her away from Sunday, or at least in his perception it did. It created a separation, as while he stayed in Penacony, attempting to achieve his goals there, she left to help the worlds beyond, places that he could not reach her. And then we have a bird flying by as a transition, as we then get this tinted glass showing the harmony as he finishes stating his dream, and to sing together with the masses. It wasn't just to share his song with everyone, but it was also to sing amongst everyone. He wanted that harmonious connection. He was true to the harmony at one point. And then things transition to this outdoor space as his outfit changes. As he says, "I only wished for the pure land in my imagination." As we get this picture book view of a world where Robin is happily singing and playing a guitar in front of children. Everything is happy. There is no death or chaos or strife in the world. It is just happiness and song. And we see him happily looking out at that as he continues, a place where people laugh and also slumber. He wanted somewhere where people could be happy and at peace. He views rest and slumber as something peaceful, something tranquil. If someone's sleep is not interrupted, that means that they are in a safe space. We zoom in on the sun with its big ol' smile, but then as he begins saying his next line, it hard cuts to things in darkness, it now turning to a frown on the sun, and he says, "But with even such a small wish, I still broke my promise." As it seems as if, like an earthquake or some other disaster is happening around them. Shadows loom over it, and reality is in utter chaos. I dreamed of this idyllic world. I dreamed of creating a place where people could be happy, and yet no matter how small a wish that was, or at least how small he believes it to be, he cannot on his own achieve that. He cannot seem to hold on to that idyllic world. Reality is chaos, and destruction and strife, and he cannot understand a way to stop that. We see him desperately reaching out towards Robin, who is just distant enough that he cannot reach her, as the children crowd around her. Immediately, this shot led me to think of the turning point for him when he learned of what had happened to Robin when she was shot, and made him realize that he was in no way able to help her in that moment, and that only by pure luck and happenstance did she even survive that. And it shook his belief that everything would be okay down to the core, to the point that he would be unstable enough to be shifted over towards order rather than the harmony. That's immediately what I think of here with this shot and what he's saying, especially with this next line. As he falls through the floor, the puzzle pieces of everything fitting together cleanly fall apart as he says, "I am unable to protect even those closest to me. Robin was hurt and I was not there to help her." And he falls into the abyss, still looking up as he watches the paradise, which was never meant to look like this, falling apart. He wanted a paradise, he wanted a utopia, yet it never came to fruition. It kept falling apart, falling between his fingers. And then he opens his eyes again, once again looking up at the curtain of the stage, returning to the beginning point, as the next question comes from this other facet of him. Has your dream changed? That was what you wanted, and it did not work. Does that change what you wanted? And he answers very honestly, he doesn't know. He has not been able to understand what this failure on his part in his vision means for him. As we see behind tinted glass, the silhouettes of mannequins in positions of dancing, twitching, as we see things in tatters and ruin, the sounds of conflict. As he says, "But I see that people in the land of the dreams still live, in another kind of prison." He recognizes that something is wrong, that something should be done about this, that people are still trapped, even if it is in a way different from before. And he wants to do something about that. As we see utter chaos around him, he's putting up his hood, he's in his modern clothes. He lists the ways that people have been imprisoned within themselves. Self-judging, self-doubting, self-denying, things that perhaps he's beginning to realize he might personally have as well. And as he says that, the glass breaks to show him hood up, protecting a child, comforting, as he continues saying, "And then robbed, oppressed, exploited." He recognizes all of the strife and pain in the world and wants to do something about it, but doesn't know anymore how to do that. As we see vines reach up, turning into chains that wrap around his arms, stopping him from being able to do anything. He is pinned down by the same things that pin everyone else down. Unknowingly, happiness has long left them. He wanted a utopia that everyone could be happy in and safe in, but that is not the world that we live in. No matter what he has done, it has not saved people from losing that happiness. They may not realize that it has completely left them, but it has. They are still chained down. And it's here where we see some of that hero complex coming in with him, as he says, "If I could create a future for them," I in parentheses, which, given how that's been used with dream, perhaps speaks to a questioning of identity, or that he is the one who truly needs to do this. Something of a questioning of that phrasing, but it still is him saying that if I could create that future for them, if I could just achieve that dream and create that utopia. But then he's pushed into the pit once more, children looking down at him as he falls. If I could be the light that shines upon the world. He wishes to be that which guides people out of the chaos. And as he says that, we see eyes in the background and these hands with eyes on them of puppets reaching out to catch him potentially. And as he sinks, his eyes open again, and we pass by raised curtains, one after another, as more antagonistically now, the other facet asks, "Has your dream come true? Have you become the shining beacon that will guide everyone out of chaos and death? Have you become the hero of this story and saved the world?" As then, finally, he is at the curtains, not just looking through them, but reaching to open them and step through, as he says, "Without a doubt," which is interesting to me, because given this next bit, I believe that he's talking from the perspective that he had at the end of the story right before his defeat. This is a microcosm of his perspective at that moment. He wished to become the shining star, the hero of the story, the one who would save everyone and guide them out of the strife and chaos of the world. He would become the god that would save them all. And as he steps out, we see that idyllic dream, him and Robin playing a piano in front of an entire crowd, as he explains, "As you see, in this paradise I have built." But then, the two of them fade away. The music still plays, but they are not at the piano. And also, there's no sounds from the crowd. They are silent. But he continues, the virtuous are comforted, the weak are protected. We see his boss form in the background looming over everything. The sinful are judged. Judged by who? Well, him. He's the one who guided everyone to a better life, to a utopia. He is the one who deems virtue and sin. And as he steps through the current, he states, our dream has come true, which makes me think he's speaking of our in the sense of him and Robin, believing that he is doing what Robin would want as well. As passing the flame, he changes outfits, he becomes the conductor, he takes his place on the stage. But then the other voice asks, then do you know why everything is now so silent? People are singing, but no sound comes from them. The vines return, the chains remain, but he continues playing his part, orchestrating everything, because people are asleep, no longer laughing, which in that statement alone is a contradiction to his original dream. He wanted a world where people could slumber and laugh, not just one where they slumber, but this is one where everyone is asleep, so they can't laugh. He's already contradicting his own dream. Vision becomes blurry as the chains come around him. Some of the silent chorus begins to turn to birds as he corrects himself. No, it's because they no longer wish to slumber here. They don't want to sleep. I wished for a world where people could laugh and slumber, but they don't want to slumber and they're not laughing. And it's here where everything falls apart. Everything becomes chaos around him, and he is chained down underneath the order as he realizes, in this sweet dream, only I remain. I built this dream to be somewhere for everyone to be happy, yet no one wanted this dream. Everyone left it, abandoning me here alone in it. He is trapped within this dream of the order. And then he says, when the last actor leaves the stage, the show must come to an end. I am the last actor. I am all who remains in this dream. What will happen when I leave the stage, when the show ends? What will that mean? And it's here where we now see two images in the stained glass. One window is the order, the other is the harmony. And this bird that once was dark turns to white as it bursts through the wall between. He breaks free of the vines. Everything crumbles around him as the final question comes. He shifts to his new form. Why does life slumber? The question at the heart of Penacony, and that at the heart of Sunday. Notably here, at this question, the vines begin to crawl back towards him. He has not escaped them yet. The birds are all around him, chaos is everywhere. But the question has been asked, and as he falls off the stage, he says, because someday, I too will wake up from my dream. The dream must end someday. The performance ends, eventually. Once I step off this stage, the dream ends. My dream ends. What comes after that? I'm not sure. I don't know. But I know someday I will wake from this dream. It may not be yet, but it will happen someday. And as birds fly overhead, he falls from the sky. He can no longer keep himself in the air as he falls into the waters, submerged by the universe. As he finishes his statement, he would not just wake from the dream, but he would once again welcome the arrival of tomorrow. The core of his dream by the end, when he was under the influence of the Order, was that a new day never comes. It just is Sunday, day after day after day. Every day of the week is Sunday, never turning to tomorrow. We can live in this idyllic eternity. But he has realized that that is merely a dream that everyone else other than him has woken from, has chosen to wake from, and that someday he will too, and that he will have to welcome tomorrow. He cannot live in the comfortable lie of every day being Sunday. It eventually has to turn to Monday. And we have this almost mournful look on his face as he realizes that everything he has worked towards is at an end, and he does not know what that means for him or where that will put him, but he is not denying it, and that is where they leave us. And I gotta say, I really love that. I think it's a really good way to set him up for us for once we start the story in the new version. This really does a good job of showing what mental state he is in. He hasn't found the answers for himself, but he has recognized that he must wake from the dream, and if the words in the special program are to be taken into account, he believes he has woken from the dream already. He just does not know where he shall go after that. He is putting on his final performance, and then he will step off the stage, leaving behind that dream he once had, to find a new dream, presumably. And I look forward to finding out what that is. But with that, I think I covered everything here pretty well, so I'll leave it there. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoy the video, leave a comment on your thoughts, and I hope you all have a great day. Goodbye.